thing. Write me a fat check. By the way, here's a photo of me with my best friend Al Sharpton. It means absolutely nothing, by the way. Blushing face. But somebody tweeted, he tweeted, Hook is a piece of shit, and then somebody tweeted this. Some woman, I dated a 5'8" guy who taunt every jack. Oh wait, I dated a 5'8" guy who taunt every jacked. 6'3" bro he met until they pulled their first back to beat him up. Whereupon my ex would go, hey, come on. I'm a little guy. I'm just a little guy. No, it's just also my birthday. I'm a birthday boy. It somehow always worked. And then Stokely just quote tweets it. Fuck you. Tony Brown. But who the fuck's in the background? It's Hook. It's fucking Hook. And then he's getting twerked on by some fucking broad. My t-shirt money is now in the ass crack of some fucking stripper. So thanks, Hook. But I don't. But Jesus Christ, this is the greatest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Clip it.
Oh,
but
actually,
hey, it worked out in the long run.
I actually do hope they make another season actually, because I would love to see the American Dragon on Total Bellas start memeing on John Laurinaitis. You have live footage of John Laurinaitis in his living room calling somebody in his underwear saying, "Hey, bud, you fired."
What did Max Caster say about me?
Like I'm embarrassed the fact that I'm hosting a post show for this crap.
I'm proud of you, Carl. I love this.
We did our Valentine's Day post of Hooked on You, but it was mainly for Jamie Hayter and only Jamie Hayter.
It's not right. It's not right. It's fucking trying to build an account and we get this bullshit on the account. Great. But
also follow a simp account.
Okay. Okay, but here's the thing, because those people, this is networking.
We actually follow.
You got
it was a business decision.
It's a business. It's a business. You have to follow these people. This is like following. If you want a stan account, you got to follow the other stans. And when you get big, you get rid of them. You get rid of them after that. It's over with.
I open up our Instagram and the first thing I see is Pro Wrestling Simp, and I'm like, what is this?
I don't look at that. I don't look at that stuff.
Decision.
It's a business decision because that guy promotes us, and then when we don't need him anymore, we toss him aside. That's what happens.
Yeah, well, we got go fucking slap it on a t-shirt and continue to use the move forehead.
Unpretty.
This guy just say fucking forehead.
What?
This guy say forehead.
Yes, I did.
You think I fucking wouldn't catch that? You think nobody on this program would catch that? But I did. For weird.
You almost didn't.
For weird.
Let's be honest. You almost didn't.
Weird champ. This is what we resort to here.
All right. Next up.
Unbelievable. Five head.
Next up, we have.
Why people happy? Pagu. Weird champ. Weird. Forehead.
Oh god.
Franker faces.
Oh.
Wowie. Why people sad. What else?
Look at how red my face is.
What else we got? Let me go on Twitch right quick. Okay. Why do people happy? KW, LOLW, XQCL.
All right. The Acclaim promo now. We were backstage.
Okay.
They're just like, yo, it's not gonna be a triple. It's not gonna be a normal.
No, dude, we're gonna do a fatal four-way. Poggers, bro. Thanks for the fucking bits.
Fuck, damn it! Jump off a roof.
Well, they just lost Gunther, so I don't know how that is gonna survive. But what's it called? But the Third Reich faction. That's the Imperium's gonna turn to the Third Reich now. But he posted a picture on Twitter with Sean Dean. He's got his castle. It says Justice on it. and then somebody says Hook is some fucking girl says on Twitter, Hook is what? Stokely, I hate your ball ass so much. And then Big Stoke on Twitter goes, Wow. Hook will pay for his crimes. It was confirmed that there was a forearm fracture which required a cast. I am distraught. I rolled dice with my left hand, so I'm... Please don't make me sue this company, Tony Khan. Please, you know that a portrait of your father that's hanging in your office? Well, once I own this company, I'm replacing it with a big-ass photo of James Brown. Yep. Every time you see the godfather of soul sweating in drug-fueled rage at the Apollo, you're gonna think of me. Sounds pretty miserable, bro. Do the right thing. Punish this little bastard Hook and write me a fat check. By the way, here's a photo of me with my best friend Al Sharpton. It means absolutely nothing, by the way. Blushing face. But somebody tweeted, he tweeted, Hook is a piece of shit, and then somebody tweeted this. Some woman, I dated a 5'8" guy who taunt every I dated a 5'8" guy who taunt every jacked. 6'3" bro he met until they pulled their first back to beat him up. Whereupon my ex would go, hey, come on, I'm a little guy. I'm just a little guy. No, it's just also my birthday. I'm a birthday boy. It somehow always worked. And then Stokely just quote tweets it, F you.
Tony Brown, but who the f***'s in the background? It's Hook. It's fucking Hook. And then he's getting twerked on by some fucking broad. My t-shirt money is now in the ass crack of some fucking stripper. So thanks, Hook. But I don't but Jesus Christ, this is the greatest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Clip it. Oh,
but
actually, hey, it worked out in the long run.
I actually do hope they make another season, actually, because I would love to see the American Dragon on Total Bellas start memeing on John Laurinaitis. You have live footage of John Laurinaitis in his living room calling somebody in his underwear saying, "Hey, bud, you're fired."
What did Max Caster say about me?
Like I'm embarrassed the fact that I'm hosting a post show for this crap.
I'm proud of you, Carl. I love this.
We did our Valentine's Day post of Hooked on You, but it was mainly for Jamie Hayter and only Jamie Hayter.
It's not right. It's not right. It's fucking trying to build an account and we get this bullshit on the account. Great. But
So follow a simp account.
Okay, but here's the thing, because those people, this is networking. This is
we actually
networking.
follow.
You got
simp account.
It was a business decision.
It's a business. You have to follow these people. This is like following. If you want a stan account, you got to follow the other stans. And when you get big, you get rid of them. You get rid of them after that. It's over with.
I open up our Instagram and the first thing I see is pro wrestling simp, and I'm like, what is this?
I don't look at that. I don't
It's
look
a
at that
business
stuff.
decision.
It's a business decision because that guy promotes us, and then when we don't need him anymore, we toss him aside. That's what happens.
Yeah, well, we got go fucking slap it on a t-shirt and continue to use the move forehead.
Unpretty.
This guy just say
I'll take
fucking
Kill Switch.
forehead.
What?
This guy say forehead.
You
Yes, I
did.
did.
You think I fucking wouldn't catch that? You think nobody on this program would catch that? But I did. For weird.
You almost didn't.
For weird.
Let's be honest, you almost didn't.
Weird champ. Weird champ. This is what we resort to here.
All right, next up.
Unbelievable. Five head.
Next
Poggers.
up, we have.
Why people happy? Pagu. Weird champ. For weird. Forehead.
Oh god.
Franker faces.
Oh.
Wowie. Why people sad? What else?
Look at how red my face is.
What else we got? Let me go on Twitch right quick. Okay.
Why? Why?
Why do people happy?
Keck.
W, LOL W,
Oh.
XQCL.
All right. The Acclaim promo now. We were backstage.
Okay.
They're just like, yo, it's not gonna be a triple. It's not gonna be a
No,
normal.
dude, we're gonna do a fatal 4-way. Poggers, bro. Thanks for the fucking bits.
Fuck damn it. Jump off a roof.
Well, they just lost Gunther, so I don't know how that is gonna survive. But what's it called? But the Third Reich faction. That's the Imperium's gonna turn to the Third Reich now. But
He posted a picture on Twitter with Sean Dean. He's got his cast and it says "Justice" on it. And then somebody says Hook is some fucking girl says on Twitter, Hook is what? Stokely, I hate your bald ass so much. And then Big Stoke on Twitter goes, wow, Hook will pay for his crimes. It was confirmed that there was a forearm fracture which required a cast. I am distraught. I rolled dice with my left hand, so I'm please don't make me sue this company, Tony Khan. Please, you know that a portrait of your father that's hanging in your office? Well, once I own this company, I'm replacing it with
It's Wednesday, guys. You know what that means. It is time for your weekly dose of the Pro Wrestling Injection right here on the Pro Wrestling Injection YouTube and Twitch. As always, I'm here joined by my co-host, my illustrious panel. We have to my right, we have Mr. Marathon Mike, and then down below we have the Goon Christian returning from his sick day. How you feeling?
Better.
Good. All right, so
About it.
we have some news. I'll kick off with my half of news, then we'll finish off with the New Japan stuff. So, for starters, we have, according to sources within AEW, many within the company are pushing for Nick Nemeth, formerly known as Dolph Ziggler, to be in the company, and many creative pitches have been made. One of the pitches is for him to be included as one of CJ Perry's clients. Man.
Wow, really saw that one coming.
Well, yeah, it's obvious that he will be in AEW. I think.
Oh yeah.
Like he's a shoo-in. I think, and also his first match is out of WWE will be at a Puerto Rican independent show with WWC. January 20th, I think that said. Let me double check the message that I sent you guys the other day. Yes, January 20th. He will be on his first indie show. I think he should do like the indies for a month, maybe 2, and then go into AEW. Don't fucking shake your head at me, Christian.
He ain't doing no fucking indies going into. He's going to AEW and then he'll do select indie dates like everybody else. He's not doing anything different. Guarantee you.
Have him do one GCW show.
Bro, dude, he can do GCW shows. Andrade's doing fucking 3 GCW shows next month. I mean, he's gonna be an AEW guy who does select indies every now and then. He's not gonna be like Cardona, who's not signed anywhere, and he's fucking the indie fucking Ultimo Dragon. So, I mean, we'll see. But with fucking Ryan in AEW, and we're good. He'll be there. Fucking World's End is 2 days after the non-compete, so we'll see when that time comes.
Next up on the news docket, WWE and MLW have come to a settlement in the antitrust case.
Another thing. Wow. Didn't think that one was going to happen. I thought there was going to be a trial between MLW and WWE. Wow.
I never
You're
thought
telling me
this.
there's not going to be a trial?
Well, here's what this is per Brandon Thursman on Twitter.
Thanks, Court Bauer.
The parties are in the process of completing the final statement, the final settlement documents, and expect to file the appropriate dismissal papers within the next 30 days. The judge has terminated deadlines previously set related to discovery and trial, that they have filed a joint status reports of. I'm reading way too much legal jargon. Other words, that a settlement has been reached. Cool. Don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah, it was nothing. Nothing else was gonna happen between this.
And then the last bit of news, we talked about this before. This is per word of mouth now from Thunder Rosa on News 4, whatever the fuck she mentioned this. She says she is ready whenever that call and my boss says it's time for you to return. I'm super excited and I cannot wait to show the world and you fans that you have been supporting all this time that I'm ready and have a lot more to give.
She'll
So,
be
yeah.
back.
Yeah, she's ready. She's ready to go. All that good shit.
So, just quick stuff from New Japan. Bishamon, the team of Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto, they won World Tag League for the 3rd straight year in a row. Bravo Gato, they defeated Hikuleo and El Fantasmo, but that means, I mean, they're the champs, so they get to pick their opponents for Wrestle Kingdom. So that means we're getting Hikuleo and El Fantasmo versus Bishamon again at Wrestle Kingdom for the tag titles. So there's that. Also in the New Japan realm, basically World Tag League's over. That means the Road to Tokyo Dome shows start, and that means guys can basically come in and out. They could probably show up in AEW, show up other places, because they usually they do shows, but they kind of build this up, but it's kind of like a mini break as well. But that's what's going on in New Japan in that regard. But also the new title that is going to be debuted in the three-way between Will Ospreay, David Finlay, and Jon Moxley is going to be called the IWGP Global Championship. It's basically the IC and the US belt. It's just new. That's really it. And the other piece of news is that I forgot to mention is that TNA has began signing talent to contracts for TNA. And we have 3 signings already. We have one, which is Leon Slater, which is one of the biggest prodigies in professional wrestling right now. It's a guy out of the UK. He's 19 years old. Very similar to Nick Wayne, Billy Starks, Starboy Charlie, Jordan Oliver, those type of guys. Great upside. He went viral over the summer because his finish is a Swanton 450 splash. I don't know how the fuck he does it, but it's incredible. He's based out of Rev Pro in the UK. They signed him to an exclusive deal, so that's a great pickup for TNA. That guy's going to be a big star one day. We also have another signing, and they signed Trent Seven.
Good for him.
Trent Seven. I mean, obviously, I was really surprised they let WWE let him go. Because him and Tyler Bate were great as Mustache Mountain, and I thought they would keep him for NXT Europe, which I don't think is even probably going to happen anymore. But I'm surprised they cut him. But yeah, he did show up in AEW a couple times in Ring of Honor. But yeah, Trent Seven is another one who signed. But the latest one that happened yesterday, which was actually today, was probably the most shocking one, because I thought he signed a New Japan contract, but I guess he didn't. But Kushida has signed with TNA.
I think that's a good spot for him.
Yeah,
that's
a good spot. It's a good spot because he wants to. I mean, I think he still wants to live in America. And I still think he does. I don't think he moved back to Japan. So it's a good spot for him. He's with his best friends, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. He's worked there before. He was worked there a lot because when he can't go to Japan, they just send him to Impact and just work there. So he's basically been there for a couple months now. So he's officially signed with Impact with TNA. So there's gonna be more to come. Most likely, they're gonna try to bolster their roster. They did make an effort. It was confirmed. Scott D'Amore did confirm that they did make a substantial effort to go sign CM Punk and Will Ospreay. Obviously, both did not take place, but they did make an effort to try. And apparently, both Punk and Ospreay did mull over the contracts that were offered to them because it was the biggest contracts they've ever offered any two people in TNA history.
I think with doesn't AEW and Impact still have a small partnership where Ospreay can still do some stuff?
Ospreay can do whatever the fuck he wants. And TNA and AEW still have an agreement, but it's not like you're gonna see that a lot of crossover.
Yeah,
I mean,
not like during the pandemic.
I mean, no, it's like Christian Cage winning the Impact title on AEW. The first episode of AEW Rampage isn't gonna happen again. Like Christian Cage, I mean, when he was the champion, he was wrestling ASOS and he was wrestling Josh Alexander. Obviously, Kenny's whole run, they were sending guys back and forth. What the fuck?
Oh, Zach, by the way,
I know.
I just saw a fucked up tweet.
Oh my god!
All Elite Wrestling star, All Elite Wrestling sensation Kota Ibushi is now reportedly dating pop superstar Lizzo. I don't think his neck is that strong.
Oh Lord. And
oh,
hey,
Lord,
David, what's up, man?
Yeah.
I think that here's one bit of news that I forgot to mention in our pre going live. This really it means nothing.
If
but,
Lizzo jumped in the ring, it would look like Brock Lesnar versus The Big Show that won
God,
SmackDown.
Fucking Christ.
Or Mark Henry versus The Big Show.
So
Or Braun Strowman versus The Big Show.
Okay.
Wait, they did it 3 times?
Yeah, they did it again on Raw.
Oh my god.
2017.
This is like something that's like it really means nothing because it's not too much of news, but Becky Lynch's and Seth Rollins' contracts are up in June of 2024.
And they're not going.
They're not going
Yeah,
anywhere.
I know they're not going anywhere.
And I forgot to mention this about TNA. This is actually substantial. I forgot to mention this as well. But at their Snake Eyes pay-per-view, they're going to have Will Ospreay wrestle, but they are also going to have the Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada come back to TNA for the first time in years. And if you know the history between Okada and TNA, it's very, very murky because back in the day, because Okada was there back when the Young Bucks were there as Generation Me, obviously Lethal, Nigel, all them.
They gave him like
and
that
that's what they hated
from the Green Hornet.
So basically what happened, that's where actually thank God for that, because that's how the Young Bucks became friends with Okada, and Okada said, hey, New Japan, take a look at these guys, and that's how the Young Bucks got into the Bullet Club. You can read all about it in their book, but Okada was there. They gave him a shit gimmick as
wanted him to bleed.
Okay, they wanted it, but they gave him a shit gimmick called Okado. It was a Green Hornet character. He was treated like a complete fucking jobber. Okada does say that he really appreciates his time that he spent there because he learned that he had to have a character in wrestling, and something that he didn't know, and that's how he came up with the Rainmaker gimmick. But yeah, Okada, I mean, he didn't want to. I mean, obviously it was a shit show. With Vince Russo didn't know how to book Okada. Years later, Don Callis and Scott D'Amore went to the New Japan locker room and apologized to the entire locker room, and then apologized to Okada himself due to how he was booked and portrayed. But at the Snake Eyes show, they're going to have Will Ospreay versus Josh Alexander 2, and they're going to have Moose, Eddie Edwards, and Brian Myers versus Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, and Okada. So it's going to be cool to see Okada in a TNA ring again. But that is also the other thing. Okada's contract is coming up. And he is seriously giving thought about leaving New Japan to go to either AEW or WWE, which I have to see it to believe it, because Okada is the golden boy over there. But stranger things have happened, and that would be a fucking mortal wound for New Japan. I don't think they would go out of business, obviously, but that would be a fucking horrible loss for New Japan.
Obviously, it would.
That's like that would be taking Roman away from WWE. That would be taking MJF away from AEW. That's literally, or Kenny away from AEW. That would be mortal.
I agree.
And then they would try and play it off as a flesh wound.
Well, but all right. Any more news to
Minor flesh
cover?
wound.
No.
I'm just gonna double check Purist real quick.
There was a report. I just want to make this.
I talked about the Dragunov stuff.
Yeah. So Ilya Dragunov, it was reported, and there was screenshots of him being taken out by a stretcher. And they say there was a bunch of reports saying he was seriously injured at the NXT tapings that are happening right now. It is not serious. It's a storyline injury, and they said it was. This is one thing I don't like. I don't like how this was handled, because obviously without
brace on him.
Well, no, not that not anything like that. But the way, because obviously they're doing tapings and they know that shit's gonna leak out. But apparently the whole angle was to do with Ridge Holland. I don't know if the company knows the perception of the perception of, obviously Ridge Holland was the person in the match that accidentally hurt Big E. And he accidentally hurt Elton Prince in a match on SmackDown a couple months ago. And obviously you have tapings where this shit's not going to be seen on television for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. And you have an injury angle where people are tweeting out, oh my God, Dragunov is seriously injured and it had to do with Ridge Holland, you already know what conclusion people are going to jump to. So why would you even risk that on television, on a taping, for that to leak out? Because Ridge Holland has talked about how much death threats and how much shit he's taken from people after the Big E injury. It's like, why would you do that again for a guy who has already dealt with this stuff, because people don't know it's a storyline injury yet? I mean, that I don't like how that was handled. That doesn't do Ridge any favors. But yeah, I don't think they should have handled it like that way.
I was gonna mention it before, because before stream we run down the news of everything. As I was scrolling through Twitter, I saw that Sean Ross Sapp says it is a storyline. I was gonna mention it, but then I saw the reports and I was like, okay, I'm gonna nip it there. But yeah, especially doing that to Ridge Holland is not the best idea. Especially after what he went through with the Big E situation, which Big E still has yet to return. His career is on the ropes because of this injury. It sucks, but all right. That does it for our news segment. So let's just dive into Dynamite tonight. We kick off tonight's show with just a brief recap of what happened last week with Samoa Joe, MJF, and the Devil stuff. Samoa Joe is now making his way down to the ring, and he cuts a promo.
No intro.
Yeah, surprisingly, it was just jumped straight into it.
Good. I mean, obviously they knew how, because Tony announced yesterday that they bought a 5 minute time, 5 minutes more of an overrun.
That
so
they barely
obviously
used.
they had it. They had to use. I mean, with 20-minute time limit matches for these Continental Classic matches, they had to. With how much, with 4 league matches on the show, you had to kind of expect that they needed time.
I still think tonight, and I will talk more upon it in the main event segment. But I think the Moxley and Swerve match should have won the distance. I think I think personally that this one should have been a time limit draw. But we'll get to it.
I disagree, because I don't think you guys are thinking about the math that's going to be going into next week Collision in next week's episode, because there's going to be a lot of math involved, and this is what happens in the G1 when,
at least in the Blue League, right?
We'll see how that plays out in the Gold League come Collision, but there's a lot of shit that happens in the G1 when it comes down to like the final 2 or 3 days, and that's when shit gets murky, because we'll talk about it when we get there, but say if Swerve won tonight, Roosh would have been eliminated. Roosh is still in.
Okay.
So now Roosh's match next week means a lot more.
Well, even if they did a draw, would Roosh
that would have eliminated Roosh.
Really? Okay.
Because Roosh wouldn't have been able to get to the same point standings that Mox or Swerve would have been able to get to.
Okay.
Yeah, because Mox would have been ahead of him regardless because of that.
Mox and Swerve would have been Roosh. There would be no possible scenario where Roosh could get to that type of pointage.
All right.
Come next week.
I was just I just wanted, I thought at least I thought there would have been a chance for at least anyone to pick up more.
It's like in the Gold League as well. People are talking about Daniel Garcia, Daniel Garcia is not out.
League. That's the Blue League. Sorry.
Oh yeah, Blue League. Sorry. Yeah, Daniel Garcia is not out. There's Andrade has. We're going to talk about, but Andrade is at
not even out.
Yeah, Andrade's at 9 points. You need 2 people to go to 9 points for Garcia to be eliminated. So if Brody King and Bryan Danielson are wrestling, so whoever wins that match, Garcia is going to be eliminated if he loses.
Well, isn't it if you do a draw, it's 2 points each?
You get 1 point.
1 point each. All right. All right, because we kick off with Joe talking about how he feels partially responsible for MJF getting attacked, and he says I won him at 100%, and I failed to protect him. I failed just to protect him at all costs. And then he mentions how when went to go see MJF, he saw a particular beer bottle brand that certain cowboy drinks, and he smelled the smell of what was it? Distill and depression. I forgot what it was.
Exactly
no, wait, no, it was Stetton's and depression. And then that cues up Hangman to come out saying why would you accuse me of all this? Also, he is staring daggers into the signs. There were 2 signs out there for Swerve.
Oh yeah.
And he was staring daggers into them, which is another very cool like kind of poke and nod that like
They're telling some stories in this tournament.
that we are not out of the woods yet for Swerve and Hangman.
Yep.
They're telling some stories.
Yeah, so as Hangman and Joe were going at it, here comes fucking Roddy
Samoa!
out of the wheelchair.
Joe.
So Roddy, Roddy comes out. He's like, dude, what are we doing here? It's obviously MJF, bro. I mean, he attacked you. He attacked Jay White. We didn't even see the bottle break over him. They didn't land a shot on him when they attacked him in the ring. It's obviously MJF, and they got distracted. Joe obviously, Joe ended up getting out of the ring when Roddy attacked Hangman from the back. Actually, no, Hangman attacked Roddy from the back. Excuse me. And then that started their match. But yeah, they had a great match. Joe left after this, but they had a great match. Roddy and Hangman.
I'm so
great.
happy that Hangman.
The wrestling on the show was great.
It was like I'm so happy right now that Hangman is a small little shadow in this world title picture. I'm so happy for that because he deserved a better run than what he was given when Punk was coming in, to be honest. But
I mean, at least from a weekly television standpoint, the matches themselves were
of course,
pretty good actually.
But Hangman and Roddy had an amazing match. I actually thought Roddy had a small chance at winning this one. He was going to pull it out, but Hangman picked it up.
Would have loved it
with the Deadeye, a very safe Deadeye. Should mention too?
Very safe.
A very safe Deadeye. What's up, Christian?
No, it's just the Pro Bowl vote.
Oh.
Fucking Sam Howell.
Vote for Quincy Williams.
Are you fucking crazy?
And Sauce Gardner.
Tua, Stroud, Purdy, Dak, and Sam Howell? Where the fuck is Lamar? Anyway, but anyway,
for another show, another network.
I'm gonna get fucking hot. But anyway, yeah. But Roddy and Hangman, they were fucking going. They were fighting. They were scrapping. This was real great. Hangman went the Deadeye. Landed right on his fucking neck, about 10 inches off the.
A very safe Deadeye, as I said.
A very neck strong Deadeye.
Here was Roderick's head.
All right, well, listen, Hangman's neck strong. He wants the neck all.
Well, also, you got to mention that Roddy had mentioned that Hangman was his young boy in Ring of Honor.
No, it was Joe who was his young boy.
I thought no.
He said Joe.
It was Joe. I thought it was.
Yeah. I don't know how the fuck that works, but that I thought he said Joe.
No, it was Hangman.
Oh, all right.
It was Hangman. He called him his young boy.
Anyway, after this we had what, Brody and Andrade.
We had
Brody King versus Andrade.
Fucking great
match. This was an excellent match. I mean, Brody King has been the standout in this tournament. I mean, I knew it when when they announced it. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great because it's gonna be a change of pace. You got a big man in there with these high work rate guys. He's gonna thrive. They could play off of his strength and how fucking impactful all his moves are, and that's what they did with this match. Andrade looked fucking fantastic in this match. This is the first Andrade Dynamite match in I don't know how long, but yeah, Andrade was
Black in the background, just fuming more and more every week.
Me and Mike talked about this last week. I don't get how they're giving. I understand why they're giving Brody a single run, but they should also give Malachi a singles run too.
It's not a singles run. It's they put Brody in the tournament because they didn't have another big man.
But it's still like it's still.
And they don't want Malachi to lose like that.
No, but it's still showcasing that he can do a singles run.
All three of them could do a fucking singles run.
They said
I've
get
been
the fucking
calling on-
opportunity.
I've been calling on Buddy to get a fucking singles run for how long?
Okay, wait. Can I go on a mini tangent real quick? But
Go right
it's
ahead.
related to Dynamite and Collision.
Go right ahead.
Okay, so Alvarez brought this up, and I didn't really notice this like as it happened, but he said in one of Malachi's promos, this was either this past Saturday or the Saturday before. He basically said like it's between them with their feud in FTR. He says that we've been there for you, Malachi to FTR, and Alvarez just goes, "Did I miss something?" And then it got me thinking, and I was saying to myself, "Yeah, did we miss something? Because where the fuck did that come from?"
They could remember with Malachi, he referenced stuff from WWE like 2 Saturdays ago. So he could be, well, no, it could be like talking about it in a shoot fashion of like they've been there for each other backstage type wise.
Well, it's either that because Malachi obviously and Brody are obviously friends of Punk.
Yeah.
So there's that. But there's the thing where you say nobody's coming for you. Obviously, he mentioned Punk by name.
He mentioned Cesaro did a Freudian slip like I did.
But yeah, it's like the only reason they're doing that angle is because they need something for FTR to do when they're out of the title picture right now, and they need something for House of Black to do while fucking Brody's fucking in the tournament. That's all this is. I mean, I pretty much gonna end once Brody's out of the tournament. I don't think they're gonna go right back to trio stuff. I think they're actually gonna go back to Brian and Malachi because that was getting started before the tournament happened. But I think Malachi and Brian is the way to go. Afterwards, I think that's probably gonna end up happening because Malachi still gave the end kick to Bryan Danielson's a couple collisions ago. And that's still left unanswered because the tournament started. So I think that they're going to pick back up on that after the tournament because the tournament had to halt a bunch of things.
I would still like to put Malachi back into a title picture. TNT or the...
Not TNT now. International.
International, yeah.
It would have... my thing is there should be a lot more... See, that's why I wasn't that big of a fan of Orange getting it back. And I was fine with Orange getting it back, but I think he shouldn't have it for too much longer. Because you have guys like Malachi, and you have like guys like Takeshita. I'm like, they could use that belt
more than
right
him
now, and more than him. He's fine. Orange is always going to be fine. Orange doesn't need a belt. He's that over. He's already cemented himself. He's already one of the most popular guys in the company. Get Takeshita the fuck off Rampage in meaningless tag matches and fucking get this guy with an international title run with an open challenge every week. You get Takeshita on an open challenge week every week. Are you fucking crazy? That would be like a Continental Classic match every week.
Mm-hmm.
You know how I said last week, Zach, where I would be interested in living in the alternate timeline had Brawl Out never happened? Well, I would love to be living in the alternate timeline
where
right
Mox
now
never
where
got
Moxley
concussed.
did not exactly.
It's
I would be very interested to see where things ended up.
It's weird.
I'm pretty sure Moxley would still be the champion.
Yeah, Mox would still be the champion, but I think he probably would have dropped it before the tournament, right? Or would he have it in the tournament?
I thought he would have had it during the tournament.
Do you think he would have put it on the line in the tournament?
No, because then it wouldn't have been a Triple Crown.
Okay.
It would have been a quadruple crown.
And it's plus that title can't be thrown in there because it's a New Japan title. There's the Ring of Honor title, and then it's this new AEW one. So it wouldn't make sense to have two AEW ones.
They could do it next year instead of throwing in the three that they currently have.
I don't think they're gonna do.
I don't Honor one and just do that.
I don't think they're doing that at all next year. I think they're doing what the G1 does next year.
Yeah.
They can still do the Triple Crown with that. Well, they already said that whoever holds that belt come the tournament next year will automatically gets a ticket into the he already gets a ticket into that event.
All right.
Ticket into the tournament. Excuse me.
Mm.
So that belt's gonna be involved. But I do think that the tournament should go to how the G1 is. Like basically, the winner of the tournament gets a title match.
It's like how they switched up.
Revolution.
It's like how they switched up the the rules for the ring.
Or they could do Wembley. They could even do that. Guess whoever wins the fucking Continental Classic gets a main event at Wembley. Just like how the G1 is with main event.
I wouldn't mind that. But no, it's like, yeah, I think what's gonna happen is it's gonna change up the rules like how they did for the Dynamite Diamond Ring. How it switched up towards like the final, like towards at the end of it. So next up, we had
Renee in the back with the Von Erichs,
which was not as big of a
Andrade
thing.
won, by the way.
Oh yeah, Andrade did pick up the win. It's
I just want to say this though. Andrade moves to 9. Brody is still at 6 with Bryan, and Bryan and Brody are going to be wrestling on Collision. So that can eliminate Garcia. And if Garcia loses to Eddie Kingston, however, if Andrade, I think it's Andrade and Claudio on Collision. If Andrade wins, that would lock. I'm pretty sure that would lock Andrade into the semis, and one more person getting either to 9 or 12 points. Not 9. One more person getting the 12 points, I think, would dash Claudio, Kingston, and Garcia. So
it's like right now, before like it was obvious on who's gonna make it towards the finals, but now I'm being kind of cross on who's making it to the finals.
I think Eddie. Eddie might run
Andrade with the win will lock up a semi spot.
I think Eddie might run the table now. Get at least to 9, and he has to hope that Brody and Bryan don't win more than, and Andrade don't win out.
So we had Renee backstage with the Von Erichs. This was like
Kevin, Ross, and Marshall. If you didn't know,
this was a very small thing to like. They put them there because one, they're in Texas. Also, a small thing to tie in for the Iron Claw movie that is coming out.
I have my tickets. I will be seeing that film.
It's coming out the 22nd, right?
22nd.
All right.
I will say this about the Von Erichs. If you don't know much about
tragic
Ross and
story.
Marshall,
the Von Erich family is tragic.
If you want to know about the Von Erich tale, which is one of the most infamous wrestling tales, you can go watch the Dark Side of the Ring episode, which is, in my opinion, it's my favorite episode of Dark Side of the Ring. I think it's one of the best they've done. That one, or you can go watch the movie coming out next week.
Yeah,
so
it has MJF.
Or you can do both. Yeah, which has MJF in it.
He's going to be playing the Von Erich cousin.
He's going He's going to be Lance Von Erich. So Lance Von Erich is the fake Von Erich that they created. So I forgot which one of them died. I think it might have been after David died, but David Von Erich passed away.
I thought I could have swore that Lance was a cousin of the Von Erich family.
No, they claimed it was the cousin.
Oh, okay.
So they took this random guy and said, "Hey, this is Lance Von Erich," and it didn't get over because everyone says like, "What the fuck are they talking about? He doesn't look like any of them at all." They try to claim he was a fake Von Erich. They try to claim he was another Von Erich family member, but he was a fake, and people saw right through it. So he's playing that. It's actually a great, perfect role for MJF to play because he's a fucking fraud. But anyway, just a quick thing about the Von Erichs here. Not Lance, excuse me. Kevin Von Erich, the older man who was with them. That's Kevin Von Erich. He's the only surviving original Von Erich left, sadly. But those are his 2 sons with him, Ross and Marshall Von Erich. Ross and Marshall have been in MLW since the rebranding and since the MLW came back. They were there when MJF was there. When MJF was tag team champions with Richard Holiday, they wrestled Ross and Marshall. And they've been in MLW for a long time now. They used to be based in Hawaii. They now live in Arlington, Texas, which is where the show was tonight. And they're a very good tag team. The last time I saw them wrestle was that Ric Flair retirement show. They wrestled the Briscoes actually. And they're a very, very good tag team.
Mhm.
I've seen them a couple times now. They're extremely very good tag team, and they're going to be wrestling on Rampage with Danhausen and Orange Cassidy. And if I was AEW, I wouldn't really look past signing them. They're very, very good tag team. They would be great addition to the tag division.
Mhm.
These are guys who are very young. They're active, and they're just. I mean, they obviously have history with guys like MJF and Swerve, and obviously also Tony Schiavone,
Yeah.
who was at MLW in that time. But yeah, Ross and Marshall. I hope they get a look. I hope they get brought in
Mhm.
a couple more times,
Oh,
not just with movie tie-in.
small production note. I'm happy that AEW is kind of booking smaller arenas now, because them booking the bigger arenas was really hurting them in a way. I'm happy that they're back to booking smaller arenas. Sure,
Yeah,
in like a
funny
few
how-
in like a few weeks, going to Nassau Coliseum is not a small arena.
Come on, bro.
well, I mean that's a pay-per-view. So.
no, it's a UFC thing.
UFC thing. No, but I thought every time you react, I'm always thinking either it's wrestling news, something with
Or
football.
it's Ravens related.
Yeah.
Or-
But
or
no, but yeah,
football.
so me and Mike talked
How about
about
them, Jeff?
this last week about how, like, definitely like the honeymoon period for AEW is over, so like the crowd is going to dwindle, and also it's oversaturating the market, as we have discussed in group chats and also on the show as well. They just gotta like get back into the groove of things, and the crowd will start to return. It's a low period.
Yeah, it's funny how for the longest time we were begging them to run
Bigger
larger
arenas.
buildings,
Yeah.
and then now we're kind of begging them to go back to smaller buildings.
Because sometimes seeing images and then being there in person, it sucks to see.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you agree with us, Christian, on that.
I don't give a fuck what they run. Just put on a good show. I don't give a fuck where they are. That's my thing.
Yeah, I'm also with
People
Christian on
care.
this.
I know a lot of people are like want the glitz and the glam and the big. I don't give a fuck. I want to see good matches. I don't watch fucking GCW shows in a fucking backyard of a fucking house or in a fucking parking lot of a warehouse or a school gym to see the fucking venue, dude. I want to see guys fucking beat the shit out of each other and fucking wrestle. That's what I want to see. I'm fucking
Yeah.
some of these New Japan Strong shows, very small venues. I don't give a fuck. I want to see Mike Bailey and fucking Kushida rip it up. I don't care.
All right.
Hey,
After
a good wrestling show is a good wrestling show.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I care more about matches than I do about entertainment.
this segment backstage.
Wait.
Yeah.
So, what's the Von Erichs name again? I always forget. his
Ross
name.
and Marshall.
No. The father.
Kevin.
So Kevin was talking how he loves AEW, and then Orange Cassidy, Danhausen, and Trent.
Wait, I will say this though. I'm glad Lacey Von Erich was not there. Lacey Von Erich is Kerry Von Erich's daughter. Kerry's dead. Lacey, she was in TNA back in the day, and she's kind of like she does cons now. I don't think she really wrestles anymore.
She's like schizo
But,
and shit.
She's not schizo, but she's just like she's not even a bad person either. She's just very aloof. Like, hey guys, I would never forget this live stream. She was at a con. She's like, hey everybody. She just like didn't know personal space. It was funny, but yeah, I don't think she would have done well here.
Yeah, so Danhausen goes, so I have a trios match this week. You guys
No.
want to be partners? And then
Orange
excuse me,
Cassidy goes. There you go.
Orange Cassidy, sorry. Orange Cassidy says that. You guys want to be partners? And Danhausen and Trent are just like, dude, you're betraying us in front of us. And
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy just goes, but dude, it's Texas. And they just both go like, oh, okay.
He
yeah,
also
that's fine."
says to Renee, "Nice horse dress."
Oh yeah,
You're betraying us, dude. You're betraying us.
dude, you're betraying us like in front of us. Just it's
so,
Texas.
Okay,
yeah, good.
they all put their hands in, do the woo, and
Danhausen, I like that hat.
after that we had what segment?
The Omega, Jericho, and Ricky and Big Bill
This was a
segment, which-
rough segment.
See, this was the weird thing about this segment. It had a lot of good moments, but it dragged on way too long.
Jericho.
Yeah, it was way too long.
Jericho couldn't get that crowd behind him for anything.
No.
He had to like
I don't know if
emphasize.
Ricky even called him out on that.
He had to emphasize stuff in order to get it over. This segment was a bit. The Golden Jets come out, start talking trash about Ricky Starks and Big Bill.
Kenny called them the Winnipeg Jets. I started laughing.
Then so Starks and Bill come out. It was a promo battle. Like you had the Golden Jets challenge them for World's End, which the match.
Well, I liked the Enzo. Shit.
Oh yeah,
that
the
was-
Enzo
that was
stuff was
funny.
funny.
That was
That was
funny.
a
Then he
great
called
line.
him soft. A little bit more your speed. Oh, Top Dollar at GCW just announced.
Oh my god. Then
Same show as Andrade. Maybe we'll get Andrade versus Top Dollar.
Jesus Christ. So you just had like they were trying. Pretty much it was a back and forth announcing the match was announced at World's End. We'll get the Golden Jets taking on Starks and Big Bill, and then Starks goes, "Yeah, we don't need a name." And Kenny goes, "Oh, but we should name them." Then you go back and forth. You have Chris Jericho trying to get it over, and Starks is like, "Well, that fell flat."
That felt flat.
Well, the first two are better. Rick and Dick, and the Absolute
good.
Assholes. Absolute Assholes actually kind of comes off the
Why
top
did they blur like? Why did they bleep the assholes out?
because they get a couple of
Would have
days.
loved if he went with the absolute drizzling shit.
Because that wouldn't
I
have
would
made
have
sense.
loved if he said that one.
It wouldn't have made sense. Because
It's
what
a
is
good-
because what does drizzling shits have to do with fucking
Starks in general.
Starks and Bill?
It's called insulting people, Christian.
Yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do with it. You have to
Yeah,
have
but that-
base behind it. Rick and Dick makes sense because it's Ricky
That was
and
a good one. I
Bill,
don't know why you didn't
and then
run
there's
with that
absolute Ricky Starks. So absolute assholes.
Absolute
they're
Billy
assholes, they're heels.
Starks. Then
They're not the drizzling shits because they're tag team champions, and they're not. They
It
can't call
was-
them that.
just like the this to me this segment fell so flat in my opinion.
Yeah.
I just
here's-
didn't
dude,
like it at
like-
all.
No, I liked parts of it.
I
Yeah,
wasn't
like
a fan
parts
of it
of
at
it.
all.
It
I
literally,
like parts of it.
it
It was fine
literally
parts of
went
it.
like this: good, nope, good, nope, good, nope.
It was. You know what it was? It was serviceable.
Very up and down.
It was serviceable. That's what it was.
Half of it was, the other half not.
So
that's
now,
true.
pre
Serviceable.
predictions. Do the Golden Jets go over,
Yes.
or is it too early to tell for you, Mike?
I'm gonna say yes, because when was the last time we saw the Bucks? 2 weeks ago?
Pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view.
Yeah, they're going over.
Also, by the way, Badu BT Dark
Early
Order is is amazing.
Oh, I need to get
Being
on
the
that.
Dark
haven't
Order,
seen
they're
that
like
yet.
they're 3 episodes in. It's so good.
Yeah, I'm like
This past
I haven't watched
episode, they
BTE since,
remade
like,
the
August.
Montreal Screwjob, and they did the
Oh, I
Wrestling
need
with
to catch
Shadows
up.
bits too from like the Bread
I-
documentary. So good.
I need to catch
So,
up on this.
After this, we had
Timeless Tony Storm.
Timeless Storm joining us on commentary with Mariah May.
Color commentary, to be exact.
No,
No,
she was doing
play-by-play.
Or she was. Oh, she was play by play.
She was asking. She asked if she should do color or play by play because she can do it all. And
Taz said, "I got colored covered."
Taz says he's got color covered, and they're not good at play by play, so you do play by play. So yeah, she joined them on commentary for RIHO versus Ruby Soho, and she was adamant that this was actually not Ruby Soho in the ring. It was actually an imposter among us.
Also,
And,
and Luther
I'm enjoying that part
came
of Virginia
down
very
with the
much.
travel gout, and
Yeah,
he
so
is
Luther
and he's resting at
was
home.
not there. So what's it called? So Tony, she claims that Ruby's an imposter because she doesn't have she doesn't have green hair. And I like the fact that they're really juicing up the fact that Tony does not remember anything before
I had
her
many
fucking
roles.
transformation, before she went fucking nuts. Listen, I'm not saying she's schizophrenic, but
Multiple personality disorder.
She's like Moon Knight,
There you go.
but the
She has
fucking
selective
she's
amnesia.
like Moon Knight, but the Marilyn Monroe version. So yeah, I mean, I would love to have selective amnesia. I would love that. I would love that. I would love to be go into public places and act like fucking
So, do
something
we
else.
do we think this is leading to a title match between them at World's End?
Ruby?
Oh yeah.
No, not Ruby.
Riho.
Riho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
There's RIHO and the state of Long Island. Jesus, it might as well be. Listen, Long Island and RIHO, they mix. RIHO, I've been to every Long Island AEW show. I swear to God, RIHO's wrestled on 3 of them. I swear to God, she's wrestled on at least 3 of them.
She's more over than MJF.
I remember she wrestled Jamie Hayter. She wrestled, I think, fucking Tony. I think she wrestled Tony, and
Maybe.
somebody else. I think on Rampage. She wrestled Ruby on Rampage. Because I remember the fans fucking chanting "Let's go Ruby" the entire match. And next to me, they were drunk. But anyway, yeah. So RIHO and Tony Storm is looking like where we're heading. Which that'll be a great match because obviously they know how to work.
Yeah.
But yeah, RIHO wins this match with Ruby. This is a pretty good match. But yeah, RIHO wins. Just got back, so yeah.
After
winning
this,
the title.
RIHO, baby.
After this, we
We
had
had the Wardlow vignette.
Okay, so I was waiting to talk about this. He pretty much said at MJF, your world is gonna come to an end. Is he gonna do
When
some
he
shit
said that, I'm
at
just
World's
like,
End?
please.
All I heard here is that this motherfucker is getting taken out because what has happened? Jay White has been taken out by the Devil and the Men. Fucking the Acclaimed. They helped him. Fucking MJF himself allegedly. Hangman just got taken out. Wardlow's coming after fucking MJF. This motherfucker's gonna get attacked because
Samoa Joe almost got attacked.
Because Jack doesn't want Wardlow to get the jump on MJF before he does. So what do you got to do? You got to attack him.
Dude, so many people are thinking Wardlow is one of those mask guys. He's not.
Because
Oh, did you
people are
guys see the
stupid.
tweet about the boots?
Fucking these autistic wrestling fans are trying to hyper
A lot more
analyze
than that.
boots.
Don't disrespect autistic people like that. They're not that stupid. We're
There-
talking about wrestling. No, listen to me.
There
We're
are
talking
levels of
about
autism where you can hyper analyze things.
No.
Yes, there
no
is.
Level, no, there's not. There's no level of autism that is beneath a wrestling fan.
What the fuck?
Doesn't exist.
The
Listen,
stupidity of
no,
wrestling.
there are-
No. Mental retardation. You have no clue how much I fucking despise wrestling fans. I hate them. Listen, I consider myself a wrestling fan, but I consider myself an educated human being and a good wrestling fan like you two gentlemen, because we're not here fucking sending people fucking tweets and fucking tweeting and talking about wrestling and talking about fucking ratings from a Nielsen box that don't fucking matter for the last goddamn 2 decades. This is the people that fucking have
I only did that to
that
piss
live
people off in the group chat.
that live and die by a fucking company when you can literally press 2 buttons on a goddamn remote and watch both of them and enjoy them. This is not the rocket science, people. The level of the wrestling fans are so fucking stupid to the point where I get physically fucking pissed off when I see when I look at my phone. I'm like, oh my fucking god, I have to interact with another wrestling fan. I want to start crying, and that's my least favorite part about going to shows. I hate being around these people because I see these people. I walk into Arthur Ashe and these fucking guys with belts, and I'm two masks on. You saw them. I'm like, aren't you a fucking adult? Don't you pay taxes? And you're standing here walking around with fucking 2 belts that you paid no fucking north of no less than fucking $200 for, and you have 2 masks on. You can't even breathe. What are we doing here, people? What are we doing? Go get a job. Go to work or something. I get a job. I go to work. I come home. I watch wrestling because I'm a fucking idiot and I'm a bum. But you don't. I don't do that shit in public.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
But
And don't even get me started. Don't even get me started on the guys that brings the adults that bring signs in the fucking front row talking about women's tag team titles like they've ever worked in any company ever that isn't fucking Stardom. No, we don't want women's tag team titles because they don't fucking work. There's no women's tag teams that exist. There's zero in this company right now. There's
the
zero in
women's
WWE.
division
Name me a fucking women's tag team on the indies that they could sign to build that division around. You can't name them because it doesn't fucking exist.
Thinking of people outside of the main companies, did we mention that Deonna Purrazzo's contract's up soon?
We
It's
did
up.
not mention
it's
that.
up.
It's not up soon. Her last date was the last Impact pay-per-view,
Okay.
and she's a free agent.
She'll go somewhere.
So yeah, so AEW needs to get on that because she's one of the best in the world.
But no, it's like, but people are
And hey!
hyper analyzing.
Maybe if they signed Deonna Purrazzo, she could be a women's tag team champion with Britt Baker, her friend.
Please
Fuck
no.
outta here.
So
Please,
people are hyper analyzing.
Don't even put that thought into existence.
Mike,
please.
shut the fuck up. Stop. Stop. We get it. You hate Britt Baker. We get it. We get it. Okay. So people are hyper analyzing the guy from like 2 weeks ago, his fucking boots. Of saying, oh, those are Wardlow's boots. Wardlow trying to be slick out here. Motherfucker wearing the same boots. No. No.
You know who else wears the same boot as Wardlow? 90% of professional wrestlers. Maybe it's fucking Jimmy Lloyd. How about that? Have you ever thought of that? Maybe it's Jimmy Lloyd.
Fuck, the guy who was attacking Hangman tonight was built like Jimmy Lloyd for all I know.
You're fucking with a different boy. All right.
Ay, Dios míos. I love how I didn't even
It's
try to get
fucking
you
Sammy
hot there, Zach.
Callahan.
Getting me fucking sick.
Sammy Callahan being
The
one of the
wrestling
masked
fans are
men.
making me fucking sick again. They're making me fucking sick.
All right, so
And I'm already pissed off that I'm very excited to go to World's End, but I'm very pissed off that I have to be around wrestling fans for an extended period of time.
speaking of which, we Christian, you might hate this, but we had to take that Blackpool Combat Club photo.
Yeah, we'll see.
Come on, it's my
No,
last show in New
we're
York.
fucking caking it.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's
We'll
my-
see.
It's my last show before I move. And I become a North Carolina person.
You can go to some Hurricanes games.
Fuck off. No.
What?
I'm not. I will stay a New York sports fan till I am blue in the
Roosh
face.
versus Jay
So then go
Lethal.
to the
Yes.
games that the New York teams are there.
Yeah, so after this, we had Roosh take it on Jay Lethal. Once again, like, tonight's matches were fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, this was a real good one. This one is really reminding me of G1 match because it was shockingly quick. It was the fastest match in the tournament. It went about 8 minutes.
This
Not
went
8
minutes. I thought
Not
it went
eight.
like
Oh, wait,
4.
I'm fucking around. I'm fucking around. I'm fucking up. It went 4 minutes and 30 seconds. I looked at the wrong match.
Okay. My bad. No, I didn't. I thought you were serious.
Or
I didn't
4
realize
minutes.
that was a mistake at first.
Breathe,
Christ, Christian.
breathe,
I
drink.
went 4 minutes. It went 4. I already did it. Fucking. It went 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Roosh choked him out the same way Moxley did to him, and he tapped out Lethal. I thought this was great because sometimes in the G1 and round robin tournaments, you get those quickie matches that you never expect.
Like,
I remember when
Yano
fucking
dick kicking people.
That's a different. But I remember when Zack Sabre Jr. Submitted Hiroki Goto in 1 minute and 20 something seconds in last year's G1. So I mean, this shit happens. But obviously, it was very distraught for Lethal because Lethal hasn't won a match in this tournament yet. Karen, Jarrett, Jeff Jarrett, and Sanjay came out to console him, but he kind of pushed Karen away. So I believe they're building a story here where Jay, he needs to get back to his winning ways. He used to be a world champion. He's like a shell of his former self, and he needs to get, and I think it's going to cause a babyface turn for him where he has to get away from Karen and Sanjay and Satnam and Jeff Jarrett to go back to his winning his winning ways.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
texted in the group chat after this match how like Lethal worked like 98% of this match as a face. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, there's something going on here. And thank God, because he needs to get the fuck away from those people.
But all right, after that we
We
had
had the Swerve and Mox vignette for hyping up the main event. And then we had Jay White versus Mark Briscoe.
God, this
Another
Jay White
very
and Mark
good match.
Briscoe was so good.
Another very, very good match here. They wrestled about a month ago before the tournament, and that was great. This was another great match. There was a controversy online today about the WWE tweeted out "Dem Boys."
It was the Fox account, so it's not really
Yeah,
fully
yeah.
officiated.
It was disrespectful.
was.
Mark let him know, and people let him know. But it came out obviously. I mean, they're in fucking Dallas Cowboys country, so the crowd already knew about the Dem Boys chant.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was really cool to see. But yeah, this was a great match. This is like another one of their great matches that they had out last month on Dynamite. Great stuff here from Mark and Jay. I thought Mark was gonna get him for a minute,
Same.
but that I believe that would have eliminated Jay, and I didn't think that was gonna happen yet.
The post-match promo by Jay had that happened. That would have just been some spicy stuff.
I'm gonna tell you some post-match promo, Jay. There's nobody better.
My
But
favorite
anyway,
one. Fuck.
But no, the one after he lost the main event to Wrestle Kingdom, when he went through the 7 stages of grief. I mean, the 5 stages of grief.
Yeah, he
when he fell out, that was one of the greatest promos I've ever heard in my life. And the one after he won the title at Dominion, from Okada. But Jay White hits the Blade Runner on Mark Briscoe and defeats Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe has already been eliminated, but Jay White is still alive. But I do want to make mention of Ring of Honor Final Battle coming up on Friday.
1 year anniversary.
Jay Briscoe's last match in Ring of Honor was a dog collar match against FTR 1 year ago. Crazy how it's already been a year, and they're doing a tribute match for him. The Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio, Moxley, and Danielson. This is Danielson's first time on Ring of Honor versus Mark Briscoe and FTR, so that should be a really good match. The other, just to run down that card, we have Billy Starks and Athena. That's already confirmed to be the main event. That's a story that's been cooking for a long time. Shane Taylor versus Keith Lee. We have an I Quit match between Tony Nese and Ethan Page, and we have a AAA Mega Championship match between Black Taurus and Vikingo, and I love them bringing in Black Taurus. Black Taurus is probably the coolest looking wrestler in the world, one of the best Mexican wrestlers, and one of the best luchadors in the world. And I'm surprised it took them this long to bring him in. The guy is fucking fantastic, Black Taurus, and I hope they put him on television. I would maybe even sign him because the guy is fantastic and he looks incredible. He's literally looks like if Mantar was cool. And the guy is fantastic.
Also, the only way to watch this is on Honor Club, by the way, folks. It's
Yep.
not going to be on Bleacher Report. You're going to have to tune in. You're going to have to pay that $10 a month.
Well, it's either $10 or $50. Take your pick.
What, $50 for the year one?
No, $50 for a pay.
It's not on Bleacher Report.
I know.
Oh, I'm talking about overall.
That's how basically every other Ring of Honor pay-per-view was. But
No,
this is
it was
actually
like
pretty-
45.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you still were playing a lot more than you would have to now.
Yeah.
But anyway, next up, we
The
had
main event.
It's time for the
main
main event.
Very wrestling heavy show tonight, and we ended off with a banger again with Swerve Strickland versus Jon Moxley. This is, I believe, a first time ever match. Went about 15 minutes, a little over. But yeah, this was a great match, really back and forth. Swerve had Moxley's number. I like how they told the story within the match. How Swerve basically had Moxley's number throughout the entire match, and it was a thing where Swerve, Mox had an answer for everything, but Swerve had an answer for the answer. And I thought it was a really cool story. Mox was getting frustrated. Swerve was acting confident. They gave each other like a kiss on the forehead, which was pretty funny. But yeah, there was a great spot where Swerve hit the Swerve Stomp to a chair on on Moxley outside. Moxley got hit by the Swerve Stomp again. He kicked out of it, which not a lot of people do. He went for the and then Moxley Swerve went for the JML driver, and Mox ended up rolling Swerve up, completely pulled the fuck out of his tights, and Swerve suffers his first defeat in the Continental Classic against Jon Moxley, which I expected. A lot of people thought because of the momentum Swerve had, Swerve was going to win this tournament. I never thought Swerve was going to win this tournament. That's why because this.
I at least thought he was going to make it to the semis.
Well, he still can.
Well,
yeah.
But
this keeps Swerve. I mean, Swerve's obviously alive, Moxley, but this also keeps Roosh alive. So Roosh's next match in the tournament is a lot more important.
So now it's going to be Roosh and Swerve, Mox and Jay?
Yes.
All right. So that's going to be interesting.
So whoever wins those matches, I believe, both come out of the are probably going to both come out of the block and fight in the semi. Well, not the semi, in the league final. For the block final.
Yeah.
So because it's the two block leaders, what I think it's gonna be right now, I believe that Jay is going to beat Moxley next week, and I think Swerve is going to beat Roosh, and we're gonna get to a tie-breaking scenario where I believe so that would mean if Jay beats Moxley next week, Jay will go to 12. And if Swerve beats Roosh, Swerve will go to 12. So that means Jay would have beaten Mox would have beaten Swerve, and Swerve would have beaten Jay. So basically you would have a three type of scenario here.
I have a prediction.
So if that's
just
the case,
we'll get to it.
Yeah, if that's the case, I don't know how they're gonna do it. But usually in the G1, how they do that type of scenario where it's a three-way or a multiple-way tie, they go to the next person points-wise, so that would be Roosh. So Roosh would be at 6. And whoever beat Roosh, or who lost to Roosh, that's how they would determine it. So Moxley beat Roosh. We would have Swerve
may lose to Roosh.
I was going to say Swerve, but saying if he beats him, Swerve hypothetically would beat Roosh, and Jay White would have beaten Roosh, so they would have to go down. So if Lethal, Mark Briscoe, whoever wins that, they would go to whoever wins that, and then they would go to that. So I don't know how they're going to do it, or the three-way tie where they could do a play-in match, where they would do a triple threat. For the block final, but I do believe still that Jay's gonna come out of the block. It's between Jay and Moxley. I don't think Swerve's gonna come at it. Actually not Moxley, but I think the league's final is gonna end up being not Moxley, Swerve and Jay White again, because their last match ended a way where it felt like they were gonna go again.
All right, and it's like the Gold League is a lot easier to pinpoint everything over the Blue League, because the Blue League is all over the place.
Yeah, so we have Andrade at 9, Brody at 6, Danielson at 6, Claudio and Eddie Kingston are both at 3, and Garcia is at 0. And I think Kingston is going to win out from here. So he would have, I think,
that would give him
3. He had 3 matches left.
He has 2.
2 matches. So that would put him at
Danielson and Brody.
Okay, so that would put him at 9. Then
not Danielson and Brody. Sorry, Andrade and Garcia.
Yeah, and it would come to a point where I think that block final. I think Brody's gonna be a threat. Like he'll be the spoiler, and same with Garcia. Even though Garcia wouldn't probably have any wins yet, but I think he'll play spoiler for somebody. But I think Claudio and Brody could potentially play spoiler, but I do think it's going to come down to Danielson and Kingston.
God, imagine if Kingston makes it all the way to the finals and beats out Bryan.
He could.
Like, a Jay White and Kingston match would go crazy.
Well, that would be a rematch because the person who sent Eddie Kingston out of New Japan, the loser leaves New Japan match was Kingston versus Jay White.
I think that's where we're going then.
Well,
So
they
you
could
guys completely missed something at the end of this match, and of course my fucking camera's out of focus.
What?
So Swerve's shoulder was up.
Well, yeah, they were
Like,
mentioning that on
noticeably up.
commentary. Well, there's none negative. None that.
Yeah.
That gives them an out, but none's gonna come from that.
Here's my prediction. Swerve costs Moxley the block semis.
No, there's no
match.
interference.
If it's interference, they get awarded 0 points.
No. The block semis match.
They still get
can't do
awarded
that.
0 points.
No. They even said if anybody interferes in a match, they'll be fired. They said
Does that only apply? I sorry, I need to fix this.
All league rules apply to the rest of the league matches and the semis and stuff. It's all the same rules for the entire tournament. Like I thought
that only applied to the round robin matches.
No. Like the G1, like the only rule that changes in the G1 final is that the time limit goes away. There's no time limit. And I think that's probably going to be the case at World's End. I think that's literally the only rule that ever changes, that the time limit goes away. And the ref is a very much more lenient when it comes to outside chicanery and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't think anything.
Okay, so what about Swerve versus
Moxley? Well, no, not like that. I'm not saying like people coming in and like them hitting each other with foreign objects or something like that. But Swerve and Moxley as the next feud.
Well, remember, we still partially have to finish this Swerve and Hangman stuff.
Well,
unless that's going to be burnered for a bit.
Well, listen. I think whatever plans they had, they need to blow up, because I think what they need to do is get that belt on Swerve Strickland by Double or Nothing.
Yes. Oh yeah. I agree with that.
Whatever plans they had in place, that needs to change. And Swerve, I think maybe put the title on Swerve at Double or Nothing, but they need to get that title on Swerve Strickland.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's too hot. There's something special about him right now. He's got more momentum than anybody else in the company.
Also, I think
Swerve is going to be the world champion next year, and if they don't do it, they're fucking out of their mind.
People are talking about how like inevitably Swerve is gonna turn face, and I think tonight seeing his
well, it's already happening.
Well, no, but like a full on baby face. I think especially with his presentation, with his graphics, that looked very face wise.
Well, that was from the music video. That's literally just the music video.
Well, no, I'm talking about kind of like the comic book.
That's
stuff.
From the music. The music video is a comic book.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know
that stuff is literally just playing the music video on the Titantron.
Okay.
Yeah, and they just put it. They kept his name there. So if you watch the music video, it's him in flash garments and that's all comic booky. But I will say this about Swerve: they can take this. What I would think I would do is I would take the Seth Rollins approach, because they didn't. When Seth Rollins started getting over in WWE, they didn't do anything different with him. Yes, he kept getting cheered, but he was still being a fucking dick. I think Swerve needs to still be a villain, a dick, a piece of shit, doing what he's doing, but he's still gonna get cheered. And I think he still should be fighting baby faces, but it's just he's a dick that gets cheered, that the crowd's behind. You can make him into a babyface, but he doesn't have to be a complete babyface. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta go fight this guy, I gotta go fight the bad guy. He could have a program with MJF where the people love MJF, but the people really like Swerve now. And in the process, that could get MJF back to where, if they want to turn him a heel again, or if they want to come to a place where MJF gets more of an edge, or they do something different with MJF, where Swerve can still be the heel and be the champion. Because I still think they need to do the same. The reason why Swerve's working right now is because what they're doing right now with him is working. So don't change it, regardless of being if he's cheered or booed. Same thing with Christian Cage. Christian Cage is coming out when he says father, or when Christian Cage comes out and his music hits, people are cheering because they're excited to see him because they know this is going to be pretty good.
To piggyback off of what you said about bringing MJF back to the heel stuff, that's going to be really hard. He's going to have to do something really fucked up.
Yeah, he's not gonna
in order to get there again.
Because I think that's the money feud. MJF and Swerve Strickland at Double or Nothing. MJF. It's you're gonna have to pump the brakes on Ospreay because obviously we all thought it was probably gonna be Ospreay and MJF at Wembley in the main event, but you could still have Ospreay challenge for the world title. He doesn't have to win.
Mm.
He doesn't have to win in his hometown. That could be the thing. Swerve's a fucking piece of shit. He's a fucking asshole.
Yeah, but just but getting
he doesn't even have to wrestle for the world championship at Wembley.
Yeah.
They realistically, the only thing that would be probably bigger than a world title match for Will Ospreay at Wembley is him and Omega Part 3.
Oh yeah.
I think they might save it for that.
Or him and Danielson for the first time ever. Which I doubt that's happening because I really do think Danielson's going to end up wrestling Nigel at Wembley. But we'll see.
Nigel's good to go. He's made that clear.
And I got news for you. It was probably going to happen at this year's Wembley, but Danielson got hurt.
I thought they were going to do him and they're going to try to redo him and Zach.
No, because it was either going to be him and Nigel or him in the Stadium Stampede.
Okay. But
because Zach was already preoccupied at that time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. Just to reiterate, though, if they're going to try to bring MJF back to that heel thing, he's gonna have to do something completely fucked up. He's gonna have to
He'd have to turn on Adam Cole, basically.
Yeah. They would have to kind of change up the plans that we have in our heads of Cole going heel. MJF would have to drill someone in the head, that is beloved by the fans.
He's not below that.
Oh, he's not. But it's gonna be really hard to turn him back to a heel. All right, guys. We are now at almost at hour and a half. We're gonna end it here. Wrestler of the week, I'm gonna give it to Brody King because did an amazing match today with Andrade. It was really good. It was with Andrade. I thought I messed up. All right, Michael. Who do you guys got?
I need time to thank Christian. Go ahead. I forget this every fucking week.
Yeah,
you can't just think of it on the fly from what you saw tonight.
I saw a lot of good shit tonight. Okay,
pick one.
Pick one.
For fuck's sake, I'm gonna go. Fuck it, Samoa Joe.
Oh, did we mention how Hangman got attacked? Because we didn't really touch upon that.
Oh yes, yeah. Oh yeah. All right. So
Jesus.
Hangman got attacked in the back by the Devil. Devil was in the car. His goons jumped him, and they planted him onto the car windshield.
This motherfucker, Jack Perry.
Jack Perry. If you didn't know it was Jack Perry, if you had any doubts it was Jack Perry, if you had any doubts it wasn't Jack Perry, this should be.
Imagine if it's not though.
It's clear as day that it is right now.
It is, but just imagine if it's not, and they're gonna fucking swerve us at the world.
They did the same shit that he did that Jack did to Hook. Hook did to Jack at Wembley. So yeah, this is that's real glass. It's definitely Jack Perry, and that's how they went off the air.
One of the masked men being kind of heavy set might be Sami Callihan. I
don't think Sammy's that heavy set.
No, he still is. Go up by the last thing he did with Mox this past a few months ago, in October.
But I guess for my rest of the week, I'll go with I'm gonna go with Mark and Jay Briscoe, the Briscoes. They were fucking. That's the actual Dem Boys. There's no
Mhm.
other tag team that's Dem Boys. So
All right, Mike, you
Briscoe.
still haven't picked yet.
he did.
Yeah, I said Samoa Joe.
Oh, I did not pay attention to that.
No, it's all good.
What
Because of that executioner line he had on Hangman, that went hard.
All right, guys, we thank you all for watching. Catch us next week. Reminder, production notes as well. We will not be doing a pre and post show for World's End. We will be at that show. We will remind you for the go home show around that time because it's in 2 weeks. Can you believe that? 2 weeks. Then, yeah. All right, guys. Thank you all, and we will see you later.